Welcome to Forever Exile, the Path of Exile podcast. This is episode 20. I am Tags, aka Justin.
And I'm Tyler, Wrecker of Days 20!
2-0. I feel like we should have something big planned, but we don't. Just an awesome podcast.
Yeah, we don't even have 20 balloons. No, don't even have one balloon.
Nope. The car still has not been given away.
Oh, yeah. But it's coming. The
It
only
coming.
reason we haven't given away a car is because of COVID-19. That's the only reason.
That's right. We're going to give it away in episode. So, how's your week?
Good. I thought you were going to say which episode we're giving it away in. Waiting. It was good. It was good. How was yours?
It was, the whole COVID-19, so self-isolation. We're just chilling at home. I've been really, really busy with work, which I don't know if I like. It's been busier. Yeah. It's been busier during this time than it has when I was allowed to like go out and actually do work. But
do what you wanted. Yeah.
No, it's been fine. It's a lot of just hanging out with the kids and trying to, play in the backyard when we can, go for walks every now and then. It is really awkward going to the grocery store. Yeah. Like I obviously can't speak for everywhere in Canada and the US, but I know I've talked to another number of friends that are in different places, especially in Canada, where there's a lot of the self-isolation going on, and grocery stores, which are like one of the very few places that are actually open. It's awkward. Yeah. Like there's stickers on the floor and people are keeping their distance. And yeah.
I appreciate the companies that are actually doing their effort though and keeping things safe, and especially keeping their employees safe. Like at the grocery store where I went, they put up this plexiglass in front and between, and you could only access the debit or interact machine. That was the only hole. But everybody there seems to be in good spirits. Employers really make or break this kind of experience for people.
I think a lot of our grocery places around us are giving their employees a wage increase too during this time. Like it's like a $2 increase. I will say though, I walked into one of the grocery stores near us and I was walking towards the deli meat and a guy just started hacking like he was dying. And I was like, I'm out. And I just left.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll come back tomorrow.
There's like 6 grocery stores to pick from anyway.
Seriously. Not going in there.
Yeah.
It was so disgusting.
Oh man, that is nasty.
It's kind of too bad though, because normally I wouldn't even think twice. Really, I'd be like, "Oh, you're gross," but let me have my ham. But no, I was out. So anyway, week was fine. Just it's weird, very bizarre right now, and so hopefully everybody listening is doing their part to just chill. It sucks. I'm looking forward to when it changes, but I even feel like that's going to be weird.
Yeah,
like when all of a sudden you're allowed out.
Yeah, I'm curious how many. Maybe I'm curious what the new normal's going to be. Mm-hmm. About like people
and how
coughing,
long?
like a year away. A year after COVID's done, how are people going to be with like coughing around each other and just the different types of etiquette that there are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm interested.
It's interesting. All right, so let's get into the path of the exile.
Yeah.
What's your build going like?
Well, actually,
maybe give us an update on your build.
Before the build, something that happened this week that was actually POE related, because I'm always thinking POE. I've been remember I told you, I'm working on my build. I'm working and I'm playing whenever I can, but in my mind, I'm thinking filters.
Oh, filters wasn't even on our list, Tyler.
Oh, it's everywhere in these notes.
It's just always built
everywhere.
Into it.
There's nothing you can do about it. And I'm really looking forward to one day GGG being capable of merging their console accounts on pathofexile.com and their PC accounts. Now, I don't know why they can't. Maybe it has something to do with how you purchase, like how you can interact Steam Cash with Xbox console cash or PS4. I don't know. But maybe it has something to do with how the marketplaces interact. But I would love for those accounts to be merged because, again, I was doing some filter testing and I was just about to write another bug report on how filters aren't working properly. And it's because I write my filters on my PC account, but I'm testing it on console, right? So that I can be around my family as we're doing things. I'm not locked away in the office. So I'm testing it on console. And it took me like 30 minutes of going up and down stairs to realize that, oh, right, with my Xbox account, I have to follow my new filter on the PC again. So anyway, it was a big...
You should be thanking GGG for the exercise during this.
It's the only, my step count way up. But anyway, like I felt like an idiot, of course, after realizing it again that I have to... Quit your nodding. But Yeah, no, I really hope one day that they're capable of merging them. Maybe they can't, and it's not like that they're not willing to, but I'm looking forward to it. But my build's going really well. I finally reached level 100, and that was a lot easier than I thought it would be.
What
No,
build did you use to get to 100? You did an update on your what are you actually playing?
I'm playing the same build that I started with. It's an occultist. It's a witch occultist. I've gone CI, which means chaos inoculation, which means energy shield is my only life. My 3 auras that I'm running are all curses, and it's awesome. I made some really difficult leveling choices. Going CI early was not one of them, but now that you've helped me out with gear, and I appreciate it, you putting it in the stash, and now that my resists are up, and I'm starting to be able to, my resists are high enough that I'm able to play with some drops, and just increase my energy shield a bit, my damage, my gems are finally leveling. I'm finally not 6 levels below the map level that I'm playing in, so it's going really well. It's really smooth. I just need to ascend again, stop getting stunned.
It's weird
And
though, because I feel like a lot of the people we've talked to would disagree and with you and maybe more agree with me on the level 14 CI being a possible helper to the deaths.
yeah, but nobody was asking. No one was asking. So have a good time.
I saw people talking about it, and I feel like somebody else was following your build. And I remember thinking, like, oh, please tell me you didn't go CI at 14. I don't think they did.
I don't remember when they went, but I believe I remember them bailing on the build, and now they're doing something else, and they're having a really good time. But I really love CI. I love not caring about chaos damage. Everywhere you go, when you see green on the ground or anything else, I'm just not taking damage. It's so nice. And for those that are new to POE, poison damage and chaos damage, they're basically the same thing. So if you have really high chaos resist, that counts towards poison. It's just chaos damage is what they call the damage over time that poison does. Kind of like how fire ignites, and then ignite is just the action of starting the damage over time, which is burning. It's the same thing with poison. When a poison hits, it starts doing the damage over time, and that's chaos. So anyway, I really like not doing.
But keep in mind, I don't think poison though won't scale chaos damage, right?
No, I
Just in
forget
case
they
somebody's wondering.
changed that 5 leagues ago. How
It is
poison and
yeah, it's
chaos
true.
interact.
That's
I
because you
forget.
used to be able to double dip because you could
Yeah.
basically do your chaos damage, which is also scaling off the poison damage, and so
Yeah, they did
it's
make
a
them
little different now.
individual, but in terms of resist, they're the same thing.
Right.
But as I was leveling and as I was in the first couple tiers of maps, I still wasn't up to tier. Like I was still level 62 and I'm doing level 68 stuff. So my boss battles were still really long. But I gotta say, I really started to appreciate all the boss designs that they're doing. Like you hear all the GGG interviews that they were doing with Path of Exile 2 at ExileCon, and it's boss this, boss that. They're really proud of the progress they make through bosses. And most of the time, you're just trying to annihilate them as fast as you can. But I went through a stage of about a week of being really underleveled, really long boss battles, and I actually really thought it was cool. All the cool different mechanics I didn't used to see before with my other builds smashing it. So I thought it was kind of neat.
Are you referring to map bosses?
Honestly, any bosses, even while leveling, I was 5 levels under, and so they would take a long time. And but yeah, all of them. I think it's kind of neat to see how they work together and the different types of attacks and spells that they roll together in combos. So I thought it was kind of neat. Anyway, build's going really well. I'm progressing nice and slow, and soon I will be annoying you with my cursors. How's your build?
It's not bad. I mean, it's going through. I have never been stuck at a single level for so long, and it's a lot of just not having a ton of time to play. But the time that I played, I tried pushing too far into red maps before being like fully ready for it. So I've been 89. I swear all league. It just feels like I have not been able to get through 89 because I keep doing dumb stuff. It's Essence Drain Contagion. It's working fine. I rebuilt my tree, I think, twice, playing around with different ascendancies, and yeah, it's good.
So you're
I'm
not
still
saving
enjoying it.
regrets for your second character?
I've not. I've never had issues with regrets. I think I've probably used like 40, at least 40 regrets right now, and I have at least 40 or 50 more. I've never been low on them. So, but no, it's been fun. I still am really having a lot of fun in Delirium. We'll chat more obviously about the league, but
Yeah.
it's it's been good. I've had my issues with it.
Yeah.
I've had my issues with it, but yeah. So this week in POE, there was okay. I'll just start with what I liked, which was the freaking map device now shows the master missions. That's my favorite thing ever.
It's the best.
I don't care
think
about
it's
anything
awesome.
else. I hate sometimes Delirium, but I'm really happy that they're on there.
Yeah.
So that came in 3.10.1, which was the most recent patch besides their little, B side patch thing for, I think there was issues with background loading or something.
Yeah.
I didn't really, there wasn't a whole lot, to be honest. I didn't have a ton of time to go through all of it, but also the only things I really cared about was that I love that master missions are finally on the device itself.
Yeah.
Favorite thing ever. And then I like that they tuned Delirium a bit. They kind of fixed the colors. You can actually see things a little bit better. I still, from time to time, no clue why I died. I get stunned and I'm trying to figure out why or why I can't move. And it's not because I'm frozen. I haven't been able to quite figure out exactly what's happening on that yet, but
okay.
I don't care. I get to see my master missions right on the map device now.
Yeah. They came out with a lot of patches this past week since our last podcast. We typically record on our Friday nights and then we post it a couple of days later. So there's normally a tiny bit of news that happens on the weekend that GGG does that that we don't really get to talk about in between recording and then posting our podcast. And so since our last recording, there's been huge patches. And I mean, it's way too much to really get into. Obviously, our favorites are always the quality of life things. Like you mentioned, that map device thing is fantastic. But now, of course, do I redo my hideout now instead of level? Yeah, probably not. But that's gonna be right beside filters in my head as I'm leveling. It's gonna be tricky. So I'm gonna have to do a lot of delving to make sure that I'm mapping or get leveling up so I can tag along with you in maps. But they made so many good improvements. They're still working on a whole bunch. So don't freak out if they didn't fix the things that you were hoping for, but they've been working really hard. And you got to remember, they've reduced staff, right? Everybody has to reduce staff now.
Yeah.
You just can't.
That was just recent that they kind of went to that, which is good though.
It is. It is. And I mean, be thankful that POE can run, right? But just remember, no matter what your opinions are about this, that they're doing their very best to stay safe first and also help the game. They're able to work from home, most of them, which I think is really cool. And they're actually doing so. I mean, anyway, big thanks to GGG, but they came out with some really, really cool stuff this week. They came out with check the announcement page because they came out with kind of like a Q&A interview with the creator of the strange voice that you hear in Delirium. So that's really cool. And the new Heartseeker armor sets look really cool. I really like them. I have the old Vampiric, not the set, but I loved some of the extra stuff. Like I loved the wings and the footprints. I didn't like the armor set of Vampiric, but I liked the weapon. And this new Heartseeker stuff, oh my goodness, those wings are so cool. So anyway, huge busy week. Definitely check out the website and see what's happened in the last week and a half once you hear this. It's really good.
So I just thought of something, and I think it was because of master missions, and this was not originally planned to be talked about, but it needs to be.
Oh no, don't say it.
God, I hate her with a freaking passion. Oh,
nobody knows who you're talking about. Nobody knows who you hate.
Okay, let me just, for anyone who hasn't heard me complain about it, Alva is the worst thing about Path of Exile ever. If I could take one thing out and smash it on the ground, it would be Alva. And only because leveling her from 6 to 7 is one of the stupidest things ever. I actually like the temple. The actual temple, I like it.
Wait.
I like when
what's it called when you're going into the 3 set when you meet her in the map? What's that called? That's not what you're talking about, right? You're talking like once you've unlocked the actual temple and you can go.
So I like when I've unlocked the actual temple.
Yeah, okay,
I don't even mind.
Me too.
I don't actually terribly mind unlocking the different rooms, like picking how I want to build it. I feel like we've talked about it before. I think it's a little too focused on speed, which I'm not a big fan of, which again, that's one of the conversation pieces that I'm going to bring up in a second, but it is too focused on speed, which I don't like. But Jesus, man, I am okay. The way you get from Alva 6 to 7 is you need 72 unexplored rooms. And you have to, and they just have to be unexplored. So, and what I found out is that is tier, because each room has a 1, 2, and 3 tier that you can discover, and they give different rewards, different whatever.
Yeah.
You have to find 72 of them. And for some reason, Grinding Gear Games does not count some of the rooms towards that total. But there's no information about which rooms will count and which ones will not. I have a damn spreadsheet for this stupid Alva. I have been trying for leagues to get her from 6 to 7, and I finally actually have a spreadsheet that's going to help me get through them, that I keep track of every single room that I do with Alva. And I don't know what their rule is with regards to it, because it just says to explore these unexplored rooms. But I actually go in and make sure I kill the like unique boss in every single room.
And you're not changing the room type. You're killing the proper one to have it upgraded.
That's right. And I'm making sure I do 1, 2, and 3 of all these different rooms.
Yep.
And in my spreadsheet, when I get out of finishing Alva's temple, I go back to the spreadsheet and I tick off any of the tiers of her rooms that I've done.
Okay.
And in the last bit on my spreadsheet, I'll have 6 new rooms that I did not do before, but she's only gone down by like 4.
Oh, so it only counted 4, but you did 6 that you haven't done.
It's like and some of them are not counting towards her 72 unexplored rooms.
Like an explosion room or something.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it's so stupid, because every other master you can level by just playing the game the way you want. Like I'm purposefully not getting Alva temple rooms with currency, because I've done 1, 2, and 3. So I need to do these other, like I'm purposely making these temples garbage. Yeah. Just to try and get her to tier 7. That's stupid to me.
It is, especially because the motivation for that is decorations.
It's decorations, and it just drives me nuts that it bugs me so much. But she's the only one I don't have at 7, and I steal hideout designs, and so a lot of times they're based on masters being up to level 7. That's the only one I need up to level 7. It's so dumb. Like, just make it kill, like, I don't care, 200 unique bosses in the temple or something. Let me build the temple the way I want to build it, but still be able to level Alva. It irritates me.
If you're going to have something in the game, it needs to be able to properly be communicated with your fan base or your player base.
Yeah, it just drives me nuts. So now, I guess kind of leading into that, we talked a little bit as we were playing this week about the speed of this game, and I mentioned to you as we were playing, and I think I was getting a little bit frustrated too, was we've gone through Path of Exile 2. We went through Metamorph, where it was very focused on like boss killing and, that very heavily into that.
Yeah.
They talk in leading up to Path of Exile 2 and at Path of Exile, or at ExileCon, about trying to slow down the speed of the game.
Yep.
This is the worst example of trying to slow down the game in Delirium.
It's backwards in terms of what you're trying to accomplish for the future.
I understand that they're saying like, oh, well, we did increase the time for the Delirium for you to loot, but it is 100% focused on moving as fast as you can to clear it. And it's so weird to me. Like, I don't understand. Are you trying to slow down the game or not? Just say it.
Yeah.
Or just say you don't have a focus. Just say like, hey, we're just making the game to play it. But it just confuses me when you say, yeah, we want to slow down the tone of the game. I disagree, because Delirium is, it's a clear speed league for sure.
Yeah.
But I would say almost more so than a lot of leagues we've had.
Yeah.
I can't think of one that was this heavy into like, how fast can you clear it?
I think it's even more speed dependent than breach maps.
Yeah.
I can go with my normal casual pace in a breach map, no problem, as long as I can phase through people and I'm getting full rewards. And in this one, I can do it. But I'm not getting the rewards that everybody else is getting at a casual pace. I need to be playing a lot faster than I want to play to do it. And I think it's a great league.
Sure.
It's just backwards to the intent of trying to slow the game down.
Well, the weird thing though is, I'm guessing you probably haven't done one yet, but when you do a Delirium Orb modified map, it's amazing. It's so good. It doesn't disappear. You have as much time as you want. The rewards feel actually quite good.
Yeah.
So I love that part of it. But the whole Delirium in the maps and this whole timed aspect to it is very weird to me for a a company that's saying we're trying to slow down
Mm.
the game because this primary mechanic of the league, outside of the Delirium orb affected maps, is not. You can't take your time. You
Yeah.
certainly can't take your time to try and like loot everything.
Yeah.
At least I don't feel that way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the whole mechanic of Delirium, where it doesn't accommodate the map you're playing. The fog
No.
increases and decreases, or I mean, that's not the right word. Fades same way no matter the map you're doing. So something like Mesa or Racecourse, where it's basically big circles.
Yeah, you will be screwed at some point.
Yeah, and so it definitely
need something like
favors
beach or
certain
strand.
layouts, but when you're incorporating a league mechanic that it seems like the shoulders like, okay, well, they're just going to have to focus on certain maps and shrug their shoulders, but then at the same time they also care on a regular basis about which maps are being played too much and not. This won't be a good league for them to determine. You know what I mean? How sometimes, like, remember when Strand was just the best, but they kind of nerfed how many enemies can show up in Strand just so that people weren't playing it too much. This is one of those leagues where they're not going to be able to do that. They're not going to be able to take their information unless they're only using standard player stats, right?
Well, and it's too bad because like on a map like Racecourse, which I know you like a lot,
Best map.
in a normal map when you just run it, the Delirium, it kind of sucks. Like you'll get through maybe 50% of the map while Delirium is still there if you're going quite quickly.
If.
But yet if you apply a Delirium orb to it, you'll love it.
Yeah.
Because the whole map gets to be affected by it.
Does it fade?
No, it doesn't fade at all.
That's nice.
Yeah, so that, like I said, that part of the league is actually, I love it. It's really fun. But it's weird to me that's the part that's fun versus the
Totally.
like normal map stuff that you run across, which is, I don't find it very fun. I do it just because I know I'm going to get something. But I mentioned to you today, if I roll into a Delirium and it's the armor, especially if I've cleared a lot of the map already, I will not run it. I already know I'm going to get garbage.
Yeah.
Because there's not enough mobs for me to get it up high. And it's just, when you go into an actual Delirium affected map, it's really, really fun.
Have what's that thing called that you run through to start the Delirium encounter?
Mirror.
It is a mirror? Okay. Even just today and yesterday playing, there were quite a few maps where just by chance, when I map, I just hug the right wall. I'm not trying to clear it the fastest way possible. I'm like a peace of mind type of player. So I find my right shoulder, I hug that wall, and I go around, and then at the end of once I come back to my waypoint, I'm just clearing the rest of the map that I missed. And I can't tell you how many times I came to that mirror after I'd already cleared the map. Now, one thing I do like about the mechanic is that I'm not screwed for enemies. Like, I'm not maximizing my Delirium encounter, but I can start the encounter, and then Delirium creates enemies that I can still kill. So I'm not completely out of luck if I didn't find it at the beginning of my map. But it is something that really sucks. Hey, have you,
for me, Delirium finding the mirror at the end of the map, you know what it reminds me of? And it's totally different than Katarina. It reminds me of finding a Katarina in the past, like at the end of a map and being like, nope. Not happening.
Katarina is one of the old masters before the 3.0s came out, when they redid masters, and she used to have a mission. She was one of the NPCs where you would have a mission where you would have to find these types of
always different
animals. Yeah, but
like
they were
an animal or find something.
And they were marked on the map if you were close enough on your mini map. But you'd have to go find them and explore. And if you found her at the end of a map, right after you'd finished, and you had to go explore the entire map again, she was bailed on quite a lot.
Delirium at the end of the map. That's pretty close. It's pretty close for me.
Now, have you applied Delirium orbs to any maps yet?
Yeah, I have done quite a few of them.
Have you done like all 5?
It was a very big mistake. I did. I had been doing like 1 to 2. So you get like 20% delirious, they call it, per orb. So you can have a max of 5 orbs on your map. I had been doing like 1 and 2 up into red maps. It was great. I'm telling you, when you get to it, it's really fun because you feel like every time the counter goes up. So for every orb that you apply against the map, you get one of those little icons in the bottom left.
Okay.
And as you kill mobs, and because Delirium is affecting the entire map all the time, those fill up as you kill mobs.
Okay.
And every time they get to the top and reset to a new number, you drop loot. your guy just like poops out loot.
Oh, and you're
whatever those
not
types
in a
are.
race against time because
Not in
it's
any
not
race. You
fading.
can take as much time as you like. It's
Oh, I
really,
like
really well
it.
done.
I had my
Now,
first Delirium orb drop today, so tell me more. Tell me more.
things get more difficult as you increase that orb. So every 20%.
Yeah.
I don't know what the actual scale is, but I'm telling you, at 5 orbs, oh my God. I did a tier 8 beach with 5 orbs.
You like beach?
It's just simple, whatever. I don't even remember what the reason was that I did. I think maybe I had like a sextant on that area or something. I don't remember what it was, but I thought, I'm crushing these red maps at 1 and 2. I'll do a tier 8.
Yeah.
5 of them. What's the big deal? It was one of the worst experiences in a map. And like as soon as I loaded into it, I started to go and attack these mobs. And the way that Essence Drain Contagion works is you cast Contagion on a group of mobs and you toss in a bullet of ED in there, and then they just explode. Everything explodes. I cast Contagion and I threw an ED in there, and it was like nothing happened. Like the white mob that I hit just was like, nope, doesn't hurt. Not
thought
feeling
you were
this.
playing catch?
And I was like, wow, did I miss? Like, what happened here? So I'm doing it again. And then, no joke, I think the very first pack of, I don't think it was more than white mobs that I killed, spawned one of the damn bosses for Delirium, like the unique, this crazy guy with an axe that just slams over his head.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I never left. Now I play on a very wide monitor, but I could always see the start portal. I never got further away from being able to see the start portal. Like that's how bad it was. So I'm telling you, if you put 5 on, you better be really ready. So I decided to put in our global chat for the private league that we have, just feeling out, like maybe if somebody was online, I was like, hey guys, how's it going? Or howdy or whatever.
Yeah.
And Cuddles was online and he's like, oh, hi, blah, blah, blah. And so I said, hey, I'm made a really big mistake here and did 5 Delirium orbs. I said, do you think you can handle it? And he's like, oh yeah, let's try it. Why not? So he came in, and in probably 2 minutes he died. And he wrote in there, he's like, Jesus, I did not realize 5 orbs made this much of a difference. Now he cleared it. He actually, it sucked actually for him because Einhar spawned on that map, and Einhar stays to the host.
Okay.
Like whoever load the map.
Yeah.
So every time he would get one of the beasts low, the beast wouldn't get captured because Einhar was with me hiding like way in the back. So I would have to like run up really quickly to get Einhar to trap him and then run. Oh, it was terrible. And there was a legion in there, and it was a double boss. And I don't remember, but he did clear it. We both got the challenge for it. I will probably not do it again because it was brutal.
That's crazy.
Fun though.
Yeah. And you know what though? I think that's awesome. Like it sucks when it's hard. It sucks when you find you're trapped or you've wasted some resources, but I love punishing. I love needing epic gear to do epic content.
You should have seen the screen. One of the orbs that I put on it was a talisman.
Yeah.
Delirium orb. There were, because we had run out of portals, there were, good God, 60 at least talismans all over the ground. Uniques all over the ground. He's like, he said something about, I can't believe you left that many talismans. I'm like, my inventory is full and there's no portals. So
that's crazy.
It was pretty nuts. So yeah, when you add 5, you better be really, really prepared, because it was hilarious. I'm telling you, this Essence Drain just was like bunk. And then the white mob was like, not having it.
Pixels Get Me is one of my favorite broadcasters, and plays POE a lot. And in his Discord, there's people that have been just doing some insane maps, and they're taking screenshots and showing like an entire stash tab loaded of really good loot. Like they have a strict filter on, and they have really good loot in there, and it's insane the rewards you're getting when you're accomplishing some of these 5 Delirium. But I mean, what you need to get there, it's an investment, and it's progress. Don't be discouraged if you can't do it.
Don't put 5 on. I seriously, work your way up.
Yep.
Just because you're doing 1 and 2, it does not mean jack. So it's fun.
Yeah, well, good for you for trying it. I have my first Delirium orb drop today, so, I'm feeling pretty rich. Why don't you just give me 4 more and I'll start with 5 right off the bat.
It will
So
not go well.
remember, you know how I play standard on console, right in between leagues, and when they announced before, what league is this? This is 310. Yeah, when 310 was announced, and they were saying that they were coming out with kind of like static, a static progressive system for how influence would show up, right, and when the conquerors would show up once you had
Yep.
influence in a map. And before, so in other words, they show up more frequently now. And so there was a time frame from when they announced that. I didn't want to waste any of my high tier maps on standard. So there was a time frame where 2-3 weeks from that announcement was when the 310 was going to start. So I'm like, okay, well, what am I going to do? I'm not going to run any of my high tier maps. So I started a new character and I was playing. I mean, I really wanted to go fast, but I was listening. I started a Templar and I was kind of doing a lore playthrough. I got through 4 acts of really like listening to dialogue and really being into it. And so even though I'm not doing a lore playthrough, I'm trying to blitz through story as fast as I can, though I didn't make good decisions to help that. I'm noticing a little extra stuff now, you know what I mean? Trying to pay attention to the little things and relationships. And I noticed, I don't know if this is lore based, but I'm really interested to find out if it is. You know how when Sin shows up while you're going through the campaign, Sin shows up and he uses his wand or whatever it is, his staff, and he like sucks the soul out
Like
of the bad
after
guy.
Act 6 or whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever act it is, and you kill whatever specific boss, and it's like Alaka. Then he like sucks the soul out. Pretty sweet sound effects, I must admit. And he doesn't suck. How do you say? Is it Dodri?
Dodri, I think. Yeah, Dodri.
Yeah. He doesn't suck her soul out. He just talks to her. That's it. So anyway, I'm gonna figure it out. Maybe it's just an oversight, but maybe it's lore based. And I was like, oh, that's pretty neat. That's it. That was the point. I thought it was neat.
It is. You're into the lore stuff. I couldn't care less. As long as I can click on the, what is it, the tunnel right after she dies. Yeah. Just let me click. I'm out.
I want to be into lore. Like I really like lore. I loved long NIS sequences. What are they? NIS non-interactive sequence. What are they called? Like those movie clips, like The Witcher.
Anyway,
Metal Gear. Yeah. I love those. But when I started really getting into POE and Dark Souls, it just screwed that. Like I just want to play. I just want to level. I just want to kill stuff and get my XP. So I still have the desire to, but I really don't. Anyway.
So I think it was last week we were going to chat. You were talking about influence and how it spreads. I assume you probably started to get the feeling of how that all works now with regards to, because
there's just been a lot of changes since it was a big deal and greatly discussed before, right? 310 really changed a lot. So
I think they've done a really good job of when you're trying. Well, first off, they have a lot of quests now on the right side as you're going through it. I almost think a little bit too much, or at least I wish I could minimize it. When I'm doing
options,
some of them,
you can turn off quests.
Can you not toggle it though, so that you can?
No,
do I have to go back?
Really,
yeah, see, that's a problem.
I really wish you could toggle,
because I have my whole right side of the screen full of these things, and if I'm in the middle of leveling up gems, sometimes I don't even notice them because they're so low down and they're kind of hidden. Not to mention they're hidden right at that weird annoying spot where you see when like people log on or maybe I should turn that part off too, because I assume I probably can. But the quest part, at least to me, is quite helpful with what they've shown. And then even more so than that, though, is the ability to now mouse over where you could store watchstones. Yeah. And it will tell you like this area, and it will tell you how many watchstones do you need in this area in order to spawn that color guardian. I think they've actually made it way easier now, which is awesome.
Easier to know or easier to do, or both?
Both, because you're not. I feel like in the first, when this was all first announced, you had to be really careful with which color watchstones you were socketing,
right?
And it doesn't seem to be like that anymore. It now seems to be like, okay, you need 3 watchstones in here, and it doesn't seem to be based on which colors did I place in there, which I do appreciate, because you used to have to like keep in mind, hey, what's the order of these guys that have spawned in? Right. It doesn't seem to be like that anymore.
So the hunter will always drop a green orb, right? Right.
Correct.
Now, but you can still screw yourself out of progress or maps if you spawn the hunter in an area where you already have the green orb. Can that still happen? So you're spawning in.
I don't think it can.
You know,
because
you think they fixed
when
that?
if I've spawned the hunter in a zone, that color will not show up when I mouse over that zone on the left-hand side of the map anymore. So in the Atlas, if I mouse over was it Vastir or whatever, let's just use that one as an example. If I've already killed the hunter on that one, the green orb doesn't show up on there. It only shows me the yellow, blue, and red, and it says that I need 2, 3, 1, however many watchstones for them to spawn. I can't say for sure that the green can't still spawn on there. I don't know if they can, but it doesn't seem to. I haven't had any issues so far with collecting watchstones at all, and I'm just running the maps that are in the zone. So
I'll try and squeeze in some console time. I'm in that awkward place now where I'm trying to get my 3rd and 4th watchstones on console on standard. So maybe I'll put some conflicting time in there.
Don't waste your time.
So you know how I'm CI, right? And loving it.
Have been since 14.
You betcha. Yep. And maybe there is a visual difference and I don't catch it, but there's some things that I don't see when I'm playing the game. So as a character that's CI, I'm immune to poison and chaos. So let's say I'm doing one of these trials to, like a lab trial or a lab, and there's these poison darts all over the place, right? Sometimes I get hit by a poison dart. My energy shield doesn't get touched. I get slowed down, like those darts slow you down, but my energy shield doesn't move. I've taken no damage. But then there's other times where the only thing that's hit me is a dart, and I do take damage, and it slows me down.
Don't they do physical damage on impact?
I don't know. Because sometimes I get hit by it, and I know I got hit because I'm slowed down. Other times I get hit by it, I take damage, and I'm slowed down. And maybe there is a visual difference. I don't see a difference. And there's been, see here, to me it looks like they're the same darts. And there's a few other times too where you're kind of playing around and you're looking. I don't know. Maybe it's something.
Seems all lab based though, right? Like where would you see that outside of lab?
In that circumstance, sure. But I'm sure
there's anything else like that outside of lab though.
Well, in a lab, that's the easiest place for me to, okay, there's no enemies and this is something that I'm noticing, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it happens in 100 other places, but because I'm getting hit by 100 other things, I'll never know. But anyway, and then another thing I noticed while I was labbing, I got the Massive Shrine, and I had the time because it was a lab. Huge. Yep. So the Massive Shrine is one of those things you click on, it makes your character look. I love how big it makes you look. I wish that the camera, this is a total side note, I wish that the camera was as far away like it is in the Kativa fight, but you were always as big as the Massive Shrine. Like, I like seeing me big, but I want to, but I want to see more of the map. Now, I know they're changing all that for POE too, so it's not like a criticism, but that's just kind of how I would love to see it. But so anyway, I clicked on a Massive Shrine, and I'm 100% energy shield. That's my life. And the Massive Shrine increases life. It increased AoE and size. It did nothing for me.
Well,
there's no energy shield to it. My energy shield stayed the exact same before and after and during. There was
but
no
you can get
benefit
it's the other one. The other one, it just doesn't make you bigger. But there's it's impenetrable. It's the one with a shield. That one gives you ES, armor, and evasion. You're still getting ES there. You're still getting increased area of effect.
I wanted a bigger energy shield. Okay. Anyway,
both of them at the same time.
Anyway, that was kind of a side note. I want to know if darts actually have physical damage and poison damage, or just poison damage. I feel like they do.
I feel like they have physical and poison. I can't explain why you are being slowed if you didn't take damage, because that would mean you didn't evade it. Because my first thought was maybe you evaded it.
Yeah,
and that's why it didn't take it. But I wouldn't think that would slow you if you evaded it. And I can't imagine you have enough armor to be stopping all of that physical damage.
Yeah, because when I'm blocking.
What about if you block?
Well, yeah, with my block, when I block something, I'm not slowed. So
I don't know. Maybe there's magic darts, Ty. Stay out of the lab.
Maybe.
I'd love to do that anyway. Okay, have you done many of the Val side areas?
Love them.
They get so good later too when you get like the rare ones. So now everything is rare. Now that I'm into the map stuff, anytime a Val side area shows up, it's got like 8 rolls on it.
Oh,
it's so good.
Oh, it's the best. Like when you I love it because when you're just doing normal mapping and you're just, I don't know, alking a map and you're getting however many modifiers. I love it when you actually get to valing a map and it looks like there's 400 modifiers on your map. And so it's so exciting. And that's the best. To me, like no matter how efficient I am or fast or slow I am, my favorite thing is more enemies, bigger enemies, and a crazy amount of mods. Just the harder the better. And like anyway, you go ahead. But
I love them. That's
when
it.
I go to a Val area and now I'm highlighting it and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm going to be here for 10 minutes reading all these mods. This is great. I think it's awesome.
I don't know. I haven't actually experienced it myself. I thought I saw somewhere on Reddit that they could roll reflect, which I hope that's not the case. I haven't found it myself, but it would be a little bit, I mean, for ED Contagion, it doesn't matter, but it would suck to find one of those and not be able to run it if they actually could run a reflect.
No, that was in the patch notes that they said you couldn't.
Took it out?
Yeah, they weren't going to roll reflect mods on there.
From this originally in 3.10? Because I could have sworn I
Their
saw it on
original
Reddit that it
announcement
could.
for it.
Huh.
Unless
Well,
they
that's good.
made a mistake and it is rolling it, but their original intent with the announcement was that it wasn't going to roll any reflect
That's
mods.
good. I'm glad it can't if it can't.
I had a really hard fight with one of them though, and it included SRS, which is a pain for CI. Luckily,
Enemy
Vortex.
SRS.
Yes, enemy SRS. That's Summon Raging Spirit. So for those that don't know, it's just a minion that casts out skulls and it follows you around. And those skulls can't be targeted. They can take damage,
Right.
but you can't actually target them as an enemy. So you have to, I don't know, by chance hit them. For me, with my vortex stays on the ground and it's dot damage over time. So whenever the SRS flies over it, they'll die. But do you get XP for killing like an enemy's minion, like an SRS? Like is that an enemy or is that a skill?
I'm pretty sure you don't. I'm pretty sure for like SRS or like rezzed enemies or anything, I don't think you would get XP for them. I'm almost certain you don't.
Well, what about
you could take advantage of it?
Like one of your most hated enemies is what are those?
Alva.
What are those like big worm spitters with the arms? What
Devourers.
Yeah, you hate those. I don't even know what they're called actually. I've always called them rezzers. Those demonic looking things that just throw their arms in the air and they go, and then they raise a whole bunch of enemies. And they just like, some of them you get them with the really fast cast
Super
speed
fast.
and it's just like they're at a concert. I hate rezzers. Do you know if you get XP from the enemies they raise?
Almost certain you do not.
Almost certain?
Yeah, I would say I'm 101% sure you do not.
I guess you would get XP the first time you killed them?
You get, yeah, sure, for the initial kill, but after that, no.
Huh.
You could take advantage of it, right? I mean, it'd be slow, but you could. So no, you don't.
Well, I've been dying a lot recently to my love of looting. See, one of my favorite things to do, like I have pretty hands-off builds, right? Because I always have one button builds that I do. And so one of the unintentional consequences of that is having time to see all the loot that's dropping and being tempted to pick it up before your fight is over. So I loot all the time in the middle of combat. And so I've been dying a little bit to that. And but I don't know. I think it's the best way to go. Like that's the whole point of minions, really, is so that you can loot mid combat, don't you think?
Yeah, it's definitely more focused on. I mean, that's a benefit of it is that you can just loot while you're leveling.
And so some of the consequences are you're dying trying to pick up a wisdom scroll, so you pretend it was totally worth it. But I've actually died enough this league because I'm looting mid combat that I'm actually changing my loot filters. So my lowest sized items, like, I don't know, an armor scrap or a wisdom scroll, or like my lowest tier maps type of thing, like all the white maps, I'm actually reducing their size because right now it takes me about like 3 or 4 clicks because my aim's not very good, as I've mentioned a few times. Like I can't see it properly. So it's like 5 clicks to pick up a wisdom scroll. So if I make it smaller, I'm just going to give up right away. I'm going to finish combat and then I'm going to.
Because you still want them?
Yeah.
You still, I see.
Yeah. Come on. Once we're actually playing together, I gotta give you wisdom scrolls. Your SSF.
It's ridiculous. I'm stocked on wisdom scrolls.
You
know why?
What's stocked for you? 60?
No, I think I have like 400.
Woo!
They're all from that prophecy.
Oh, yeah.
I love that prophecy. It's like one of my favorite prophecies. Screw Headhunter. Give me my 40 wisdom scrolls.
Right. But no, I'm actually lowering, like decreasing the size of my smallest items in my loot filter just so that I'm less tempted to pick them up.
Are you going to screw over all the people that follow your filters?
No.
Oh, is this like a separate one?
No, it's discouraging looting during combat. That's all it is.
Oh, so you are, this will affect them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So you're screwing them.
No, No, it's going to help
Okay.
them. They're going to die less, and they can thank me
You're-
later.
no
can
one's
send me
died as much
flowers.
as you. I
No,
feel like you've
nobody
set a
died
record.
as much as me,
I
but
wish
they'll
that
still
was a
die
stat.
less.
I wish that was a stat.
It is a stat, and I'm not
who's
saying
gotten
it.
like the furthest but the most deaths? I would love to know where you rank on that.
Well, you know where I rank on our private league? Second page.
Oh, you're not even on the first
No.
page.
No. People that have
That's
joined
awesome.
our league yesterday are farther along.
Yeah,
than
there
me.
was somebody that joined like just recently, and they're already ahead of you. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, congratulations.
So, have you had a chance to play with the jewels yet?
Yes, love them.
okay.
Oh my goodness. And you gave me a curse jewel that increases curse effectiveness. Oh my goodness, I could kiss you. But
Yeah,
there's the
there's
social
some fun
distancing thing. So
Yeah, we got to be careful right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's probably common knowledge for most that they go large to medium to small. You can't have, you have to go in that order. Large is the ones that go on the outside of the tree. Then that leads into, they can roll mediums on them. Mediums then go into that one. They can roll smalls on them.
Yeah.
You can get multiple of the type of jewels on it, but so you always have to go large to medium to small.
Yep.
I love the respecking on it though.
Oh, isn't
The
it?
fact that I can just use one, right click on it, pull it out, and then redo it. It makes it so nice to be able to swap out jewels, which jewels are really, really nice to roll. Like if you want to get your own, it's there. I don't think there's many items in the game that are easier to craft than getting yourself a good jewel.
Oh, so nice. So
Yeah,
nice.
I really like it.
And for those that don't know, if you have, like, let's say the implicit on the cluster jewel that you get says lightning damage, when you're re-rolling, whether it's chaos or transmute or whatever it is, alteration, it's always going to be lightning related what you're getting. And the large jewels are typically offensive. The small jewels are typically
Utility.
the small ones
utility and
are
damage.
the small ones. I thought the small ones were defense and the medium ones were utility. But
They're
either way,
supposed to be,
they're
but my
typically themed, and so it's pretty easy to
small
get
one
what
has
you
one
want.
of my highest boosts to damage.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know what they all are.
Mm.
I don't care though, as long as it makes me awesomer.
And we were hanging out with someone on Discord, and my apologies for not writing the name down, but your large jewels from item level 74 and higher have the possibility of rolling 2 empty sockets on them. It's item
Cool.
level 74. Now you know.
Write that down.
You remember that boss? Act 10, I think. Avarius? Is that the guy's name? It's kind of like, I forget.
Oh, where innocence, where you fight innocence?
I forget if Innocence is actually the earlier
He's awesome
act
because you only
of
have
the
to kill
last
him
act.
once.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
So Act 10 is where you only kill him once, right?
Yeah.
So Avarius, I think his name is. He has this
Sure.
like red splashy fire thing that's a spell or attack. Do you know what I'm talking about? He like
He doesn't
does this
usually live that
spell-
long time.
He does this spell attack thing where like there's this red stuff pouring from the ceiling and it like covers the ground, or it's like, it's moving around. It's like a light beam or something, but it's red.
Sure.
I had really crappy resists when I was fighting him. I have no idea how to fight it.
More than 200 ES and resist help.
Okay, I'll
Yep.
I'll take that into consideration next time.
I don't know what
But
kind of damage he does.
I
I have no clue. Fire, maybe?
Well, here's the thing. It was like 1,000 deaths, but I was going to figure this out for podcast science here.
I don't think you're kidding either about 1,000 deaths. That's probably just about
No.
right.
I was definitely half that for the entire campaign. But anyway, I was trying to find out what type of damage that was, because if I just run through it, I was taking damage over time after I was out of those red beams. And beams, that's a good word for it. And it was some sort of debuff. And I mean, I was dying pretty quickly, so I had to die. I'd get impacted by it again, and I'd try and hover that little icon in the top to see what it was saying, what it was dying from. It said, what did it say? You are taking physical damage over time from heretical flare. Okay. Well, I had a staunching flask, which gets rid of bleed. That didn't work. I had a fire flask, whatever that is, the ones that get rid of burning. That didn't work. Like, what am I supposed to do? That'd be weird if they had a damage that I really don't know what it was. So, and my damage was so bad that battle lasted forever. My damage is so bad that lasted forever. That was a brutal one. But I want to find. I want to know.
Low ES is probably going to have a big. It probably actually maxes out at an amount of damage that they just assume nobody would have less life than this for.
Anyway, if anybody knows the type of damage that Avarius does with those red beams, let me know. Because I was really irked that I couldn't find out what it was.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Have you seen the new Endgame tutorial in the game yet? I couldn't find it. I thought they said that it was going to be
tutorials as soon as I go into as soon as I load into the game starts. I turn off tutorials, so I imagine I wouldn't see them anyway.
Oh, okay.
Why?
Well, I don't know, because I like to tell people when they're new to the game. I encourage people in my guides, like, check out the in-game tutorial. It's actually really good.
Did you click the little help button? Maybe it's in there.
Yeah, no, it's not. I can't find it.
Because I will say, if you were the very first time playing this game, because even for us who we've played this game a lot, when you finish Act 10 and you're in the the first area after you finish Act 10, and they're like, and especially now with the new Atlas and Kirak and stuff,
yeah,
there is no direction whatsoever as to where you go. It's like, oh, you should just go here. Oh, you need to go down to the reliquary. And then the worst is when you're in the reliquary and it says, I can't remember what the name of it is, but it tells you one more step, like the vault maybe.
Yeah.
If you didn't know what you were doing, there's no chance you don't clear that whole reliquary going like, what? And then where are you supposed to go?
The
like, it doesn't tell you, hey,
huge too.
Go back and then run to the bottom left of the starting area. It is a little weird, but no, I haven't seen any tutorial. I maybe in the help, because I know you can hit that little question mark, right? Maybe it's in there.
Hey, can you favorite maps?
Not yet. You have to.
I thought that was coming out tomorrow. They said.
No, it's there.
You can favorite maps.
It's in the game, but you have to unlock each of thing, right? And the very first level of unlocking is clearing all of the maps in a zone, which is all the way up to 4 watchstones. Like, you have to fully clear the Atlas really before you're going to be able to favorite maps.
Oh, so you need all 4 watchstones in a neighbor, or I was going to say neighborhood, a region, to start being able to favorite in that area?
Because you have to have completed each map in the region, and the only way to unlock all of the maps, right? Because as you watchstone up, you open more maps. So it's there as an option, but I can't do it.
All right. Because I was looking for it on console and couldn't find it, but I guess I haven't progressed far enough.
No, you got to progress pretty far into it for that.
Oh, and I remember the person's name that I forgot. Art of War. Thanks for your help with the jewel information. And they also mentioned, they corrected me. Remember a long time ago on a podcast, I was saying that I like to, in standard, get like 5,000 wisdom scrolls, but then all the excess that I have, I trade in with Lonnie in the epilogue. And, you can trade in jeweler's orbs for fusings that way, 4-1, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And then at some point, I discovered that you couldn't trade in armor scraps or blacksmith whetstones. Well, you can trade them in, just not with Lonnie. For some reason, it's with the other ones. So you can go to someone like Whalem, and you can trade in your excess whetstones and armor scraps and slowly progress your inventory that way.
Back before the master change, you used to have to do that all the time. You have to go to all the different masters depending on which exchange you want to do. So it is interesting that they pick some to go to Wayland, but not
only 2. And it's every other master or every other NPC that sells except for Lonnie. But anyway, so for those that were actually following my word to a T, I've been corrected, and I'm glad I have, because now I can trade them in.
We're going to disagree a little bit on this next point. And that is stash tabs. Now, I will give GGG credit because the stash tabs are incredible. We buy all of them. We have all the different ones that there are.
Yep.
And the shard, is it called the shard tab, right?
No.
Is that what they call it? What do they call it? I always call it the shard tab. What's the tab that's got all the shards on it? Fragment tab?
I don't know. Is that, are you talking like?
It's the one that's like, they just pooped everything into one.
Is it where the scarabs are located?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the fragment tab. Shard.
It is fragment tab. I said fragment.
You said shard. You were
whatever.
shard.
I was right. Whatever. But it's just it feels like they just shoved everything into that one. But
it makes sense.
I know you like the stash tab, or that we both like the stash tabs. I think you like them a little bit more than me. But why can I not put oils somewhere?
Yeah,
it's so weird to me that they haven't found a spot for oils yet.
As soon as you decide to make them core, give them a place.
If you're not going to, then stop making them stack to 10. It's really like, let them stack to 100 or something. If you're not going to let me have a stash tab for them, just let them stack higher than 10.
Yeah. Well, I guess you can trade them in. What is it? 3-1, but still they stacks up really fast.
But you can't go the other way, right? So if you trade them in, you need to make sure those are the ones you wanted. Obviously the lower ones are more common, but you can't go backwards.
Might be a marketing thing that they do, right? Like they might have it so that it's kind of frustrating to keep them around for a while, and you're frustrated with, and then like, okay, now we have the tab, and maybe it creates more of a demand or
No, they will, but
sales
this was
for it.
2 leagues ago, right? That was Blight.
Yeah. Well, they took them a while
It's
to
time.
get things into like
It's
this.
time.
The
Give me
fragment.
a freaking oil stash area. I don't care. Throw it in the fragments and just make it
No,
the
but the
border
fragment
around
tab-
that stupid tab.
The fragment tab makes sense. That's all map stuff. All of it's map related. You make maps with it, different types
Well,
of
how's it
maps. And the oil's not, right? The oil would be something that'd be more currency based because you're impacting something that can influence your items. Not
What about
just
the
maps.
thing that lets you get to Uber Lab? That's not map related.
Well, but I'm saying like, well, no, but there's some things like in the currency tab that you can use to reroll maps too. But I'm saying everything in the frag tab is map related, right? Everything there will eventually create or influence a map in some way. The delve tab has its own thing because of its crafting situation. Essences, there's so many of them. There's that. So, but I don't know. I don't know where you would put it. What would you couple oils with? Like, I'm with you.
couldn't care less.
Totally catalysts, which nobody cares about.
Catalysts need to just be removed from the game.
or changed because I'm not
I
going
get-
to craft with catalysts at 0% or at with a
At
normal
1%.
item. At a normal item.
You just
I'm
don't
not
get
gonna-
enough of them. It's so silly.
Yeah.
I get it. Some people probably like them, but I think they're dumb. Make the oils a border around the fragment tab.
Well, how many oils are there? 15?
I like 400. I don't know how many there are. There's a lot. I'll bet you there's more than you think there are.
Are you going to bring it up?
Yep.
You're going to bring it up. Well, I'm going to move on. I think
Don't
that
don't go on yet.
well, okay, I'll stick to the stash tab then, because I think what they did with the currency stash tab, they added a lot of cool permanent spots. And a lot of the stuff where, you know, those, what is it, 10 or 12 free spots you have at the bottom of your currency stash tab, they were
Yep.
full before with
Sure.
things that didn't have spaces. And now they're all gone. They all
Mine are-
have space in the currency stash tab, like the Harbinger stuff and some of the extra shards that didn't have places for their full sets. I love it. It looks good. I mean, it's a little bit weird that the scouring is now on the left instead of on the right, but I'll get used to it.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
get
Actually,
used
that
to
threw
it.
me off too. Why I don't understand why the blessings from the breaches don't have a spot. When you complete a
Mm.
breach and you get like a blessing of Tull or a Zoth or whatever, they don't have a spot, which is weird to me. How many oils do you think there are in the game? I mean, if you guess like how many you've
you're putting me
collected.
on the spot and you're going to make me look like
Just
an
a
even
guess.
bigger idiot. 15.
No, there's 12, but even that seems really high to me. I can't think of. I mean, even through playing quite a bit, I don't think I've collected. Well, I've certainly not ever collected a gold one. I've only ever bought one.
Well, yeah.
I just give me a spot to put them. It's only 12, and I don't like filling up that stash bottom part, especially right now because I'm throwing delirium orbs into there.
Well, it's tricky.
I don't know.
It's tricky. Maybe they're waiting.
They
Maybe
need to
they
go
have
somewhere.
like maybe their 311 content's going to come out with something because body parts are going to need something too, even though they're pretty random. A body part stash tab would probably need to be like a map stash tab.
That would be terrible. I don't even know how they would. Yeah, it would be brutal
like you
because
would
they
need
all
to
roll
have.
different.
Okay, so even though there's only like
Sure,
5 or
that
6,
would make sense.
You'd
Yep.
have okay. Here's
Like
your
a
head
heart,
tab. You click
here's
on it,
your
and then
eyes,
you can
yep.
view all the different mobs.
Yep. No, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Interesting. Well, it's exciting. Like I load up console just to see if people are trading, and I'm still trying to, you know, like during lunch or something, I'm loading up and I'm trying to go through stash tabs and get rid of all my gear and stuff like that. Nobody's buying anything on standard from me. So I've decided that I'm going pure solo self-found, even though I'm not technically solo self-found. I'm starting a chaos recipe tab. I'm starting a regal orb tab, and I'm just going to do trade-in and do all the armor set trade-ins so I can keep it going because nobody's buying anything, none of this great stuff. So, but it's neat because every single time I'm loading console, it's getting updated, and I'm loving that they're adding. Now, I hate Diablo, but I loved how quickly Diablo updated after PC got a patch. It was like 3 days, and GGG is right there now. For the last league and a bit, they have been really solid at getting out really good quality patches right off the bat. As quick, it's like 3 day difference. It's fantastic. You shut your face. It's fantastic.
I'm just smiling because I don't care.
I know. It's a lovely smile. It's a lovely smile.
I'm happy. I'm happy for you.
So
But just play on PC.
now that we're talking about filters, no, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I have a question for you. This is something I've actually been intending on asking you for a long time, and for some reason I didn't even write it down, so you couldn't even push it aside, like you mentioned the other episode. But how much of this game is a mini map game to you? Like, how often are you just staring at the mini map and not even at your screen?
I don't think I keep track of how often.
Well, no, like not like a stopwatch, but for me, I'm always looking at my mini map. That's like the only way that I know exactly where I am on the map. You know, like, is that actually a wall? You know, like, let's say I'm in the thicket or something. Is that a wall? Is that a door? I'm just staring at my mini map all the time.
So do you use my mini map? Do you use tab to make it bigger, or do you always keep it in the top right?
No, that makes me nauseous. I do it very rarely. Having the mini map in the middle, so it's nice and big, it's too much going on at once. I
actually prefer it in the top right myself, but I also turn the settings off so that I don't see any of the like detail to the map. I literally just see the lines,
the borders. Yeah.
Yep. I look up there from time to time just to have an idea of where I'm going.
Are you capable then of playing Path of Exile, looking at your screen and at your character and knowing you've cleared the map, knowing you've gone in every direction, knowing, oh wow, that is an area I can turn right into? I can't do that.
Yep.
I need the mini map for everything.
Oh, I don't know, to be honest. I think I just, as I'm playing, glance real quick, like off to the corner of my eye. It's definitely easier when I play with my game in 1920 by 1080. So it's because my monitor's a 3440 wide. So if I'm playing the full screen on that monitor, it's actually hard because the map is like quite a bit further away from my player.
Okay.
If I shrink my size down, which I've done before, if I'm streaming or whatever, it's way easier because I can literally see it in my peripheral the whole time as I'm running through the map. Yeah. And you, what? I don't know. You just look at yours all the time?
I stare at it, yeah, because I want to know that I'm not missing any turns, right? Like
That's why you got to play minion builds.
That's right. Or dot, yes, and I just keep running around.
Yeah.
So actually, I was joking about talking about filters, and I didn't see this next point, but awesome filters. Have you seen one of my newest YouTube videos that I've posted? I know, of course you haven't, but you should pretend that you
I watch them all.
You probably don't even know that I have a YouTube channel because you're a prick. So anyway,
I thought, do you actually have a YouTube channel? I thought it was for like your build.
Well, I post stuff there. Yeah, I post my pathetic gameplay, and then I post my epic guide examples there too.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
So how often are you putting up videos?
I put up. I only alert people that I have videos coming up when I post my guide examples. So there's going to be very few actual alerts.
So at the beginning of each league?
Every single gameplay, no matter how much I sucked, every time I've broadcasted, I put
like
it
you
up.
take your stream and put it up or whatever?
Because
I'm not watching a 3-hour video.
Well, no. I don't expect that at all. But I'm going to read you one of the titles of of one of my more recent postings, and I want you to tell me if you're going to watch it.
Is this when you say title of your posting? Is this the title of your video?
It's a title of one of the most recent videos that I posted. Are you ready?
Okay. Yep. Hold on. Is there a chance that if I opened up your YouTube channel, I would know which title you're about to tell me?
Yes. Are you going to do that?
Okay, tell me. No, tell me what it is.
So tell me if this would interest you if you came across it and you didn't know it was mine. Okay, you ready? Don't drink. It'll like jet stream out the nose.
Gonna make me spit.
Yeah, I am. So drink fast.
You're not even gonna be able to get through it.
No. Path of Exile filter colors and icons comparison. Play effects and minimap icons.
This was a whole stream?
No, it's not a stream. It's a 13-minute video.
Oh, you actually did a video
of me standing in one spot with each color play effect of those beams from your loop filter, one of each color, and then one of each minimap icon. And I'm standing there for 13 minutes.
Are you talking?
No. Oh, it's so I can stare at the screen and compare colors and look at them and then look at the minimap icons and be like, okay. Yeah, those colors look the same. Maybe I could make that like frag tab and this tab.
I feel like that video, if you had done it right when it came out, like this whole change came out, and you were doing it just as a showcase to show the options, and it was like a 45-second video.
Oh, showcase. I should put that in there.
Let's make that title longer. Aren't you limited to like 100 characters?
It doesn't matter. I'll make it work.
But I feel like had it been like a short video, then I would have watched it for sure.
I think you should watch it.
How many views?
I think 17, and they're all me as I'm trying to, because I made it for me, but I tagged it because there's going to be a couple other people that want to see the different colors of the different and what the minimap icons actually look at their biggest size. But I think that all the views are me because I have been considering and thinking about how I'm going to restructure my filter.
I'll subscribe to you so I can watch all your future content.
I'm excited for all your comments. I disable comments because the world's full of pricks. So as we're finishing up here, have you thought about what your POE tattoo would be?
Nope. Sorry, did I wreck your question?
Not even a little bit?
It's not even crossed my mind.
Well, we're moving that over.
Yep, that is Mike gonna
adding
have to be a
that right
question
now to episode. You didn't even
drag that one.
Oh my goodness, you didn't even.
So yeah, we are pretty much wrapping up episode 20. This has been a good episode. We wanted to give a shout out to some people that have been
episode. Let's pat each other on the back. Hey, Justin, you did awesome. Really well.
Hey, you know what, Ty? So did you. I thought you did great.
Thanks.
Remember that time when you said that thing? And you got the words across really well.
I felt
everyone understood you.
I felt so warm, so much warmth coming from you from the other side of the screen.
Right. Anyway,
I hate you.
So yeah, we've got a Discord
a lot
that I think we've been posting on different places. There's a bunch of people in there. It's actually been super helpful. People have, whether they are playing in the private league or not, it's been cool. But I would say we probably hang out more there than we do anywhere else with regards to Discord, especially now. Like the only place to hang out. We need to have
nowhere else.
A Zoom meeting with the Discord people.
Oh,
yeah. So anyway, yeah. So thanks to everybody for all your feedback and questions and helping all the other people and helping us through our terrible characters. Anyway, we'll link it in the, description, Reddit, Twitter, wherever we post it. If you find it, come join us.
Yes.
Everybody on there is pretty chill.
Yeah. Because if you're not chill, if you're not nice, we just kick you out. So everybody on there is super nice.
Anybody out.
No, we haven't.
It's coming though.
Oh yeah,
it's coming.
I'm looking forward to that one prick that just brags.
They're listening right now.
Oh yeah, join.
It's gonna be
join.
You. It's gonna be.
And then we're not gonna have the guts to kick you out.
Oh, I'll kick you out happily with a big smiley face connected to it.
/ban.
Is that a thing?
Broadcasting business, how you ban people. Feels really.
We don't know anything about Discord anyway. You can come in and do whatever you want. You don't have a clue. Anyway, thanks a lot for joining us for episode 20 of Forever Exile, the Path of Exile podcast. I am Justin, aka Tags.
And I'm Tyler, Wrecker of Days. Oh, one last thing. Thank you, everyone, for your feedback in the Discord channel. It was really good feedback, and we'll do things with it.
This is how hard it is to podcast with this guy.
Well, it's not scripted.
Gosh. We just said that.
No, did you say that?
Yeah. Yes.
I totally blacked out. I didn't hear it
I'm
at
not
all.
taking any of this out. You're going to listen back and be, oh my gosh, what is wrong with me?
Well,
I'm going to start taking. You need to take notes while we podcast.
I was looking right at you and listening, and I didn't hear any of that.
I love that you brought up something that was above the outro as I'm doing the outro.
You want to do the outro again?
This is Justin, aka Tags.
I'm Tyler, Wrecker of Days still, and I have nothing else to say now.
Thanks for at least joining me today. And you'll be able to catch any of our links, any of our additional information in the show notes below. We are on Twitter at ForeverExiled82 and on the interwebs at www.foreverexiled.com. Bye.
Bye.